Hello once again. Like I said before, this is a module, and this was for air conditioning module. Going over the components and going over the basic things. As you can see over here, this is a relay, and this is a chip. Chips come in many forms. Chip can come in this form. Let me zoom in on it if I can. Many pins, 8 pins, as you see over here. And number 1 pin is this one over here. It's hard to see, but it is. There's a little layout over here, which is, you cannot see. It tells you which way to put the chip. After all, you could put the chip in the wrong way. So you make sure when you look at pin 1 over here, this is surface mount. This is surface mount. This is surface mount. This is through hole. This goes right through it. When I flip it over, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, identifying the parts of it. This is a symbol for a diode, like we always have. These little ones over here, they have numbers on them, are the resistors. These resistors are the same as this resistors, but these old-fashioned resistors with the color codes and the color bands on them are through-hole, are old technology. These are replaced by surface mount, which is these. These are resistors. Okay, these are capacitors, and usually there's a band and they telling you which one is for polarity. What is positive, what is negative. It'll give you an indication which way to put it in based on polarity. There's another resistor. These are, if you can see them, these are transistors. 1, 2, 3. 3 legs. 3 legs are a transistor. It's not going to tell you which is the base, the emitter, the collector, but remember, these are transistors, which are diodes, back to back. Okay? Now, like we said, these are more resistors over here, if you can see them. And believe me, the components get even smaller than this. These are capacitors also. These are polarized. As you can see over here, when I flip it, as you can see over here, as you can see, it tells you which one is the negative one over here for polarity's sake. So it always tells you the polarity. You see, it always tells you polarity. It tells you polarity here. It tells you polarity, polarity, polarity. It's like a battery, a plus and minus. Make sure to put it in the right way. If they're all, I could flip it around and put it in the wrong way. So anything that has polarity, like a diode, like this diode, this is the cathode, this is the anode, it has to give you the polarity to make sure you put it the right way. Like this also. So moving on now, like we said, so these are electrolytic capacitors. They are polarized, you must put them the right way. Now, these are more transistors. This is a transistor. These are transistors. These are transistors. This is a diode. Like we just said, see the symbol for a diode. This is a Zener diode. These are more ICs that we talked about. This is a relay again. So basically, on through-hole, these are transistors. So just going over these components, if you want to measure them, the best way is to take them out of the circuit. You can't measure it because there's so many things in parallel with them. This is a transistor over here. This is a diode over here. This one with the band over here. This is another form of a capacitor. So if we go to the other side, and this is the other side of it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This one over here, this pin over here is for this one. This pin over here is for this one. This pin is for this one. This one, when you look for the ground, usually the ground is the fattest part of the copper, of the trace. So this one is ground because it's you see the fattest part? This one is ground. See, it's the fattest part. So these 2 pins are usually ground. Okay? Now, like we said before, this one over here is through hole. This chip that you see goes through the holes. Let's flip it over. This chip goes through the holes. There are holes, and it fits right through it. And that's why you see these pins sticking out. All these pins are from the chip. All these pins are from through-hole components. Okay? Now, the surface mount, you put these surface mount, they don't go through holes. They go on layout on this, like I'll show you. They go on this. You do not see holes over here. They are laid upon these pads to make the connection. So you have to know how to solder very well. Many months ago, I made a soldering about this, but did not get too many views. So I said, well, I don't think too much interest in that, but maybe we'll try it again now. But anyway, any module, regardless if it's a PCM, air conditioning, whatever it is, for example, you have to have a connector. That connector will be something like this. The pins will be something like this, obviously. You can reflow it, meaning you can resolder it over here, these pins in through hole. I'll show you how to resolder it and reflow it. Not difficult at all. If you have something like this and you want to reflow it or resolder it, it's a little more difficult. Why? Because it's crowded with other things on this side of the board. So when you put your soldering iron, make sure you do not heat up or touch any other component. As opposed to this one, you want to reflow this one, no problem. Go over here. It's much easier on this side. But these are more difficult to resolder. Okay? Hopefully I'll show you the technique. You'll see how the views are. But anyway, a simple board. Simple board. Again, these are more connectors. You see these are more connectors over here. So if you want to find a connector, if I want to reflow something, this is a connector. This is a connector. This is a connector. How many pins do I have to this connector? How many you see here? 1, 2. How many pins to this connector? You see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about this one? See the pins? Hard to focus. 2 pins. So, all connectors. All connectors. All connectors. Okay, so I hope this just gave you a basic idea of what on these boards. To repair these boards, like I said before, not always economic enough. It's not always cost effective to do these things. So anyway, like I said, I'll show you how to reflow when I get a chance, depending on the views. Thanks for watching, and go to the next video.